Okay. All right. So, Isaac, what are you most excited about when you think about what this project has meant to us and what we've accomplished with it? What are some of the things you're excited about?
I can't wait to hear what people say about this and what people do with this. It's there's this funny thing, we've discussed this a couple times before within this project. You know, you think about shipping a product and you think about being done with a product or a project, and there's this old saying that if you're comfortable with it, you haven't shipped it soon enough.
Oh.
Right? If you've waited way too long. And to that end, right, like we listened to the recordings that we created to begin with, and I'm almost embarrassed about a lot of the things because I feel like I wanted to fix
stuff that I had to say?
Things that I said,
I see.
Noises, movements. But the reality is this was recorded organically. This is not this, while it's produced, it's not highly produced. It's not overproduced. We tried to eliminate any kind of engineering of the recordings that we had. And that was important to us. It was very important to us to incorporate. And I believe that by doing that, we've created this state of flow, and we didn't interrupt our state of flow. And because of that, I believe that you, the listener, are going to enjoy that a lot more. You're going to feel like a bigger part of the conversation. And as we sat here and we spoke and we thought about we explored creativity, we explored tinkering, consciousness hacking. I felt like you were here with us.
Absolutely. And what I also am excited about is the environment that you can see in this video. You can see where we are when we're recording this, and the fact that the environment was the right environment for this project. The producer, the engineer, Alex, who's in the other room during this video, has been instrumental in this, because there are a couple of points in the work where some of the questions that Isaac and I ask each other came from our producer.
Yes.
He opened up the door to the recording room and said, why don't you guys talk about X? Or John, why don't you ask Isaac this? And Isaac, why don't you ask John that? And the ability to flip the switch, to step into stream, to enter flow has become easier and easier with each visit.
Absolutely.
And what we're excited about is that we've planted a flag and said it's going to be released at this time and date. And what that does is it makes us just a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because it is not 100% perfect, but I believe it's the best work. I know that for me, it's the most important work I've ever done.
Until our next work.
And I hope that it's been as satisfying for you as it has for me.
It absolutely has.
Cool.
And so let's go back to when we met. Right, we alluded to this a little bit within Stream. So if you're seeing this on the website and you haven't read or listened to Stream, rather, you haven't experienced Stream.
Well, you need to.
You need to.
Yes.
We think you'll have a good time. If you kind of like this dynamic, I think you'll really enjoy
probably so
the flow of Stream. We met at a conference that we both went to, and we both found that we weren't getting anything out of the speakers or out of any of the other attendees. We were both this
close to bailing.
We're both just about to leave, and we were sitting down. We're like, I thought to myself, and I think you said the same thing to yourself before meeting each other, let me just grab lunch real fast. We're in a nice place. Let's just do that.
Nice hotel near the ocean. And
totally.
If I get out of here now, I'm probably going to hit some traffic. So I'm going to sit down and have a burger at the bar, because I don't have to worry about dealing with a waiter, waitress, whatever. Just sat down, and I don't even remember what the first thing was that you said. Oh, your bag was on the chair next to me. And you said, do you need me to move that? I said, not at all. And, okay,
Look,
cool.
you were a decent human. Yeah. Wow. So for those of you who don't know, John,
why do you sound so shocked?
Human.
I don't like the sound of that at all.
You know how I said you were a decent human?
Which is now in the past, right? Yeah.
Now I know you.
And if you look at the photos of us on the cover of this, I'm sure there's a portion of the audience that has been wondering, well, what do they look like with their eyes open? And that photo, that selection was made very strategically and very carefully. Those photos were taken here in this environment, and environment feeds flow. Collaboration creates a platform for flow, and flow is fun.
Flow is fun. Flow is fun by yourself. Flow is fun with others. It's and the more people you engage in flow with, the more, for me at least, the more magical it becomes.
Yeah, because what it does is it draws things out of you. You know, what happens when you collaborate with someone is that things come out of it that you never imagined. And we're excited about this work because it has lived up to that in spades in a whole bunch of ways.
Aside from that one recording of me being sick. Which
But that, I think, how much you want to bet that that's going to be one of the most popular segments?
I don't know.
Because they're like, is he okay? I'm wondering, why does he sound like that?
This voice.
But again, you said you felt fine.
I felt fine. It was so distracting to me, in fact, that it pulled me out of flow for a while, and we referenced that. And that actually brought me back in, which was a wonderful kind of a strategy that to potentially use, actually addressing the pink elephant in the room and saying, hey, this makes me really uncomfortable. All right, cool. Now let's move on.
Pink elephant? Where's the... I don't see one.
Polka dots?
All right. Stream the audiobook. It is we have done this as a labor of love. We've done it as an exploration. We've done it as a collaboration, not just between Isaac and I, but
and
there's
Alex.
a Freudian slip, yes, between Isaac and I as a unit, and with the extra added color, spice, dimension, and control of environment that has been provided to us by our producer and engineer. This is a work that we believe people will share with others, because people are going to say, have you heard this?
Here, let me just send you this one small clip. And you know what? If you want to just do that, that's okay too.
That's absolutely okay.
That's a great compliment to us.
Sure. Absolutely.
And I've loved how Alex has been able to come in here and there to add that third party perspective.
Yes.
Which kind of is representative of everyone listening in, right? Because he's not in this room, he's hearing this. And he's able to kind of help us fill in what we're missing in terms of conveying concepts and thoughts to be understandable by people that are not just you and I.
That's right. And anything that we can make understandable to not just you and I is probably a good thing, because we live in our own little universe. One of the things that I think has brought great perspective to this is that Alex makes his living recording music. Doing audiobooks like this, he has done them before. He's actually produced work with me in the past. But that musical ear and that musical mind and that perspective of, would I want to listen to this more than once, has been invaluable. So props to you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
All right.
I want to talk to you a little bit for a minute right now, almost as if we talked about this kind of feeling like a podcast. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your thoughts about how you felt when you received the feedback that you received, and how it made you feel when you heard someone else take the work that we'd created and internalize it and allow for it to be their own thing.
Sorry, I just moved the microphone. What was it like to get feedback? Well,
I mean, I know how I felt. I'm curious for you
to
hear you articulate.
Well, we want to hear what you thought, what it made you feel. What it made me feel was a sense of accomplishment in that while I have no idea what people are going to do with it, what I wanted to do is I wanted to spark thought, I wanted to inspire people's hearts, and I wanted to move their soul and their spirit. And for someone to listen to 14 minutes of this piece and come back to me and have me on the phone and for the better part of half an hour say, I'm not really sure what I got out of it, but let me say this. And then he just went off and he talked about creativity and discipline and focus and flow and collaboration. And he didn't go about it in the pace that I am. He had full paragraphs and pages and a half in his mind about what it made him think about regarding his own creativity. And this is a person who makes his living as a creative. So that was very satisfying. What did it feel like for you to get the feedback that we did from the wide variety? Because we got a screenwriter, we got an event producer, we got an entrepreneur, that kind of broad spectrum of types of folks. What did it feel like to you to read what a couple of the feedback pieces said?
I think, so for me, the most exciting thing was to hear that people were getting something, most importantly, we're enjoying the audio experience. Right. They were enjoying the relationship, the flow, the dynamic of the two of us as individuals. And to me, I only hope that you enjoy yourself at least half as much as we did recording this, because we had so much fun recording this. Hours just blew by.
We don't want to stop.
We don't want to
we
stop,
have to,
but we
so
have
we can
to
get
stop.
this into other people's hands, ears, minds.
Exactly.
So who knows? Maybe we'll revisit this or other topics in the future.
And to that end, that was the most exciting thing to me, to hear that we could be talking about almost anything. And we were talking about something that we are talking about something that I think is very important to every single person who doesn't want to make the most out of their life, who doesn't want to perform at their peak,
right,
who doesn't want to be as creative as possible. The one thing, as we automate, as we move through automation of jobs, of different things, everything that we do in life is becoming a function of some other piece of hardware or software. As we move through this automation and AI becomes more and more prevalent across the board, as we talked about, becomes as consistent and ubiquitous as electrical plugs are, right? Like being able to just access it at any point.
Sure.
The one thing that we have that AI doesn't have is creativity.
Right.
It's the one asset, the one human asset that we can bring to the table that is so unique to us, not even as humans, as individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So beyond the human side,
like a thumbprint, like the
a
sound of
fingerprint.
someone's voice.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And to that end, talking about creativity and trying to help you understand, and us at this exact same time understand through our study of this, of peak creative performance, understanding how to apply that to your life. We almost could have been talking about anything. And though I feel like the feedback that we've received from me has validated the dynamic of our conversation as being something that brings people into the flow that we are in as we communicate. And to me, that's been the most rewarding piece. And also in knowing that we didn't just have a good time.
Well, yeah, because it would be great for us
else
to spend all this time and effort and everything, and it doesn't go anywhere. One of the things that I think is critical is, as in any creative work, I personally, I cannot relate to looking at a piece of work or listening to a piece of work that the artist has not named. I'm not a big fan of untitled, right? I like titles. And I remember the moment when you and I discovered, came up with, we literally said the word at the exact same moment in Isaac's office. Yeah, Alex is in there. Sorry. I'll say that again so you can edit it out.
No, we don't need to edit it out. Keep going.
We both in Isaac's office, we both said stream at the exact same moment because we were in a state of flow and we're talking about how do we communicate the fact that this is part of a larger experience, that this is ongoing, that this is something that can be revisited and improved upon and added to, and the greatest gift to us would be if it starts thousands of conversations with us, with all of you, between all of us, that kind of thing. And we were driving here today and we were talking about past work that both of us have done. And the fact that we both arrived to this morning, this date on the calendar, with really positive things having happened within the last 24 hours that are hearkening back to work that we've done in the past. And it doesn't matter how long ago. And you said something that I thought was very profound. Do you want to say it or you want me to?
No, please.
All right.
Came out of the moment. It was organic.
It came out of the moment, and
it's my gift.
And thank you very much. And now it's our
it just kind of came through me.
It kind of did. Okay, no references back to that. Okay, he said, "Great work will go beyond the moment, and it will follow you the rest of your life." So we hope that portions of this are perceived by you, the listener, as great work, only so that it will prompt you, encourage you, and inspire you to do your greatest work.
I hope so.